What's up, you guys? This your girl Karma with Karma's 25-cent tea, and I mean your girl Karma. Karma's 25-cent tea, where it doesn't cost too much, and I mean too much to sip tea with me. Fuck, y'all thought this was a fluke. Hey, or y'all wishing it was. I'm too invested. Okay, you guys, this is girl Karma. Karma's 25-cent tea. Okay, where it doesn't cost too much, and I mean too much to sip tea with me. And I usually start off my podcast, my radio station, with a quote from either me or something I've learned along the way. And today, this quote came from Malcolm X in 1963. The quote usually has something to do with what I'm talking about. Sometimes it don't. Today, it has everything to do with what I'm talking about, as you can see on my headline for what I'm talking about today. So with that being said, my quote for today was from 1963, like I mentioned. It's Malcolm X, "Chicken came home to roost," quote. And I don't know what it means to you, but I know what it means to me, and I can elaborate on what I think it means to me and what I think he meant. And it's one of those quotes that now that I'm 24 years old, I'm taking it into consideration what it could mean for me, what it meant then, and just in general how it affects myself. That quote in general. So, chickens came home to roost. To elaborate more on that, that's more of like for me with my explanation of it is the bad things that come to someone has done that they have done in the past have came back to bite them or hunt that individual. So the bad things that came to someone had and what they have done in the past has came back to bite them or haunt that individual. So stuff you go out and do comes back to get you in the ass. So be careful what you do. Chickens do come home to roost. And I was thinking more literal because I'm working on not eating meat. I was thinking like, yeah, we keep eating these chickens. They just gonna come bite us in the ass, get us sick, all that. You know, he's Muslim. He didn't eat. I'm not sure. Yeah, he don't eat pork. Muslims don't eat pork, but just in general, I just feel like all animals, they should be coming back to haunt us. They want to live a life too. We eating and we getting hungry, and our options are limited, so we're all eating meat. And I'm working on getting rid of that. So I was thinking more literal with the chickens came home to roost after the fact of bad people doing stuff and getting treated bad was just they coming to get your ass. Stop eating them damn chickens. All right. But anyways, that's my quote for now. I'll run it back in the end. Today, I tried to come correct. Not so excited and anxious to talk about it because when I am anxious, it makes it hard for me to talk. And I pause a little bit more, which is okay. I'm not here to be perfect. There's no script. I have notes that I take every time I go live to keep my head flowing and my brain going on what I want to talk to you guys about. And it's not a lot. It's fairly relevant and it benefits me and you and my followers. So I think it's worth the shot. It's worth listening. Please do like, subscribe, and share. It doesn't hurt anybody. Comment and say hi. It's a little shit. It's the little shit that gets me there. So my caption today is called "Slave Catchers or the Police." So originally, if you did your history about foundational Black Americans, when we were slaves, when my ancestors were slaves, grandmas, family down the line who's no longer here, rest in peace to those powerful people who hang on as long as they could and fought for what we have, what I could say we have today, which is, it's something. It's more than what they have, so I'm thankful for that. But the police used to be called slave catchers. There weren't any police. The people that are running around disciplining folks, mostly people who look like myself, disciplining them, catching them, killing them, bringing them back to their master, a white supremacist. They were slave catchers for my ancestors. So what I want to know is, if someone who used to be called a slave catcher becomes the police, and I am a person who has ancestors down the line who have been victims to these slave catchers, catching them, hurting them, killing them, raping their family, doing anything above and beyond. Why would I think for 1 second to run for them to help? And if so, if like everyone say it's in the past and stuff, that doesn't mean it won't traumatize me down the line, because I came from them. I came from those ancestors. And now it didn't happen to me, but it's in our blood. It's in my head. It's in my history. It's what I know. That's traumatizing. What could be done about that? You know? Why are there any other options for someone like me when I'm dealing with something and I need help? Why is it a slave catcher, the police, my only option? As a black woman, I don't feel as safe to call them unless I really don't know a good time when to call him, because a worst case scenario, I'm into it with my man, and he is black, foundational black American, and I call them and we're in a dispute and they're there to help. First thing they're gonna do is try to hurt him or me. Or if anything, if I the best thing to my knowledge, sorry to get, a little bit everywhere, but to the best of my knowledge, I tried to handle things my own way, because I feel like if I call the police on any black person, I am putting their life in danger. And the only way I feel that way is because of the slave catchers, what they used to do, what they are doing now, and they're now called the police. So, um, um, I'm astounded. Okay, just like, like, how can we just pretend it didn't happen when you guys are doing the same thing you did before? You get away with it because you're considered a policeman. You get guns, all this other stuff. Like, what do we do? What can we? What actually can we do? I'm tired of talking about it. All we do is explain. We explain. We talk about, oh, this happened. It's kind of like a talk in the barbershop or getting your hair and nails done. Like, I'm tired of talking about it. What are we gonna do about it? Like, somebody with logic would know that uh, a slave catcher, the police, would be traumatizing to someone like myself, to my ancestors. To call the same people up, no matter if it's a whole new division, a whole new set of policemen. You guys are known for that, so we don't feel as safe. We don't have this great attitude for some stand-up guy who's protecting their community, because they're not. They're still doing the same thing they were doing before, and it gets turned to the other cheek for a lot of reasons. And I just think that's bogus all the way around. And I'm going to elaborate more on slave catchers and police before I end this live today. I also wanted to talk about Malcolm X, on why I brought up the quote about him saying the chickens come home to roost, because he was speaking the truth. He was just saying, that was a time when the president got assassinated, and that was just something that was on his mind, and his freedom of speech. They say this is America. We can say what we want, but we cannot. It's an illusion. You can say what you want to a certain extent. And back then, he was a part of brother. I'm with brother that he was. I don't even like saying. I don't like glorifying certain people, but the man that he was under and following hushed him, for the way he came out, I guess, saying the chickens came home to roost. They wanted him to be quiet, and he failed to do that, so they hushed him. They told him he couldn't speak for a certain period of time until he said so, and this is a grown man with kids, a married man. There's another man hushing him, telling him he can't speak based off his opinion. This is freedom of speech. I don't think he's saying any wrong. He didn't start up a riot or anything. He's speaking his mind, and they hushed him. And now, back to 2022, we have things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff, and they're hushing us. And they're not hushing us because we're wrong. They're hushing us from coming together and coming to this conclusion that there's still slave catchers. Still no freedom of speech. We're not free. We're not safe. Yeah. So, like, elaborate on that. on how we're still hushed today. And when I say we're, I mean me. I mean, anybody of any color can get blocked and hushed from social platforms. But let's just be honest. What are we being hushed for? What are the things that we're saying so bad that we can't speak freedom of speech on an app? What are we saying that's so bad? Please enlighten me that you need to be hushed. And where did they get that from? You see, they learn stuff from us and they use it against us, and we fail to realize that. You know, we'll come up with dances. We'll they'll have us. You're selling whatever plants, whatever you're selling. It's illegal for you to do, but it's legal for them to do it. Why is that? Why was that rule set up? Hmm. Don't take a detective to figure it out. I'm just telling you. I shouldn't be drinking this coffee. But recently today, what got me going and wanting to go live was that this man, what did this man say on Facebook? He was talking about guys. He said you don't really see guys, black men, living off a broke white woman. And I'm like, he kind of right, but I know somebody. We all know somebody, you know, because everybody likes somebody, you know. So one of my Facebook friends was like, yeah, I never met a black guy who's with a broke white girl. And I'm like, actually, my uncle's one of them. He doesn't work. He lives off white women. I said it just like that. And I called him a coon because he said that he can't deal with black women and that's why he deal with white women. That's okay, but don't talk bad about somebody that you came out of, you know? Tupac said it best. How you gonna hate a woman that you came from? Your mama's black. So you can have your own, you know, opinion on what you like, but don't forget where you came from. And with that being said, when I said that my uncle was a coon, which he is, because he talks down on black women, he has black children, he has white children, and he lives off white women, and he's born from my grandmother, a black woman, yet he talks down on us, so I could consider him a coon. And I didn't say anything, I don't think I said anything disrespectful or too literal or too foul, and I was blocked from Facebook, and I just felt like that was their way of hushing me from speaking the truth. Now, when we go on Twitter and Facebook, you can still see George Floyd dead videos. I'm glad this nigger's dead, all this type of stuff. But I'm hushed for saying my uncle's a coon for using white women and talking about black girls. You know? How did I get hushed for that? But they could talk about us and talk about OJ when apparently this man has went out his way to prove that he was innocent, whether he was or not, you know, because it was proven that he was. So I'm just going off that since everybody is guilty until proven is innocent until proven guilty, but actually I think it's the other way around. You're guilty until proven guilty because that's how they do us. So I'm just saying, like, how can I be hushed for speaking my mind? This is a world freedom of speech, and people can go around and talk about George Floyd and say he deserved to die, the nigga should have did this and all that. And I'm just sitting here like, what? That don't make no sense. That don't make any sense at all. Like really think and elaborate on what's going on right now. They can say whatever about our culture. They can talk down on us. They can say this. They can say that. And what? Nothing happens. They get to say whatever they want. People get blocked every day, no matter what ethnicity you are. But when it comes to us, we get hushed. When we want to tell you the chicken's coming home to roost, we get hushed. Like, please stop. That's what I just wanted to talk about, elaborate more on why I was blocked today. I just feel like I've been hushed for speaking my mind in a not derogatory way, so I don't feel like I should be blocked. So let's move on. I ain't gonna explain too much on that. I want to talk about Kanye West. And you might be surprised that when I'm talking about Kanye West, I'm not here to drag this black man. Yes, he's faulty. I'm faulty. No one's perfect. And if they are perfect, what does that look like for them, you know? Because everybody makes mistakes. So there's really no perfect person. And perfect is just another word, you know? Because even somebody who, if I thought this person was perfect, they don't think their self is perfect. All right? With that being said, Kanye West is another human being. He makes mistakes. So why are people out going out their way to bash this man for going through his first divorce? Kim's third divorce. We went through this. So why are we on the internet bashing him for years, months, and days like he's not a regular human being with feelings? Why are we laughing at Kanye West for wanting to be the president? Nobody else is. Nobody else, foundational Black Americans, trying to do something positive with their money. But you're mad at him. I don't get it. Why laugh when you're not in no position to be, you know, go against him, you know, in a voting type of way, you know? Take him on. You guys are laughing at him for doing what we all do, trying and doing stuff new and doing what we're good at. And if you guys are gonna talk about him every day and drag him and talk about how he's unfit and how he needs help, you guys are talking about him more than Biden. So why not be the president? People are checking for him. He's not a dumbass. Why not? Why are we laughing about somebody wanting to do something different? Wanting to evolve. That's what we're here for. To do stuff we've never done, you know? We give everybody else, nobody laughed at Trump. Maybe people were laughing at Trump. Maybe people were laughing at Biden. But y'all have a lot of energy for Kanye West and him not being the president. That I just think that's just Who else is doing it? That's what I want to know. Y'all keeping tabs on him. Why can't he be the president, you know? Please elaborate and tell me why Kanye West shouldn't be the president when he's shit. He's putting in the time. You guys putting in the time to get BBLs and PlayStation 5s and talk about how unfit he is when nobody ever talks about, like, dang, this Black man is not running away from his kids, which is a stereotype for foundational Black Americans, for anybody who looks like me. Whether you're foundational Black American or not, it's a stereotype that we don't take care of our children. We, as in people like myself, Black women too, they try to say that we put other stuff before our children. This is a stereotype for us. So he's not even a stereotype as a bad father. So what's the problem? He's a great father figure. He's a great father. He's actually working so hard right now to get certain custody hearings and stuff for his child. You know why? Because he's a good father. We don't talk about that. We love to talk about how bad somebody's doing. Why don't y'all talk about how this man's a great father, how he has to fight with a woman who used her body, which isn't a bad thing, to get what she needs. And with that being said, now she is a center of attention. And he has to fight with a woman who's now a lawyer. You know, kudos to her for coming up and trying something new. But like, this man's trying to get his kids. This man wants his he don't want his kids on the internet and being vulnerable out there, having people talk, you know. He is a father. He should have these type of opinions, and you know, just being input should be very much so taken seriously. Everyone's laughing. Oh, he's mentally ill. This man lost his mom. Nobody else. His mom was there from day one. Go check out Genius. That's what it say on your Netflix. But go check that out. He had his mom there supporting him his whole life, and she passed away. Well, I'm not gonna get into that, but she passed away, and you can tell it took a big toll on him. And of course, people are gonna have mental problems. Not everybody has a light on them and cameras on them 24/7, and especially when they're going through grieving process. Not everyone has a camera there to see how their reaction is. So how can you judge this man? It's supposed to be only God can judge us, but the court, we sitting in court and shit like that, you know? So I don't understand. You gotta, and I guess you guys will make me understand because everybody's just do anything for clout, you know? And that's sad too. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the Karma's 25-cent tea. Where does it cost too much? And I mean too much to sip tea with me. Type shit. Let's get on down. I'll vote for Kanye. You know why? You know why there's a bandwagon for Kanye West and laughing at him? Because recently just tweeted Kanye's main account, and it was only up for 21 seconds, and there was an automatic advertisement on him on why you should and why you shouldn't vote for him. When you go on everybody else's Cardi B's pages and stuff like that, there's not already set advertisements and things waiting for people to type in hashtag or at Kanye West ready to what? Bash this man? They working too hard for some reason for this man not to be in that position, for people not to want to vote for him or to think of him highly. They're going out their way, and I want to know why, you know? And what I wanted to say about Kanye West, let me see what I put here. Oh yeah. We have this thing of saying that what's wrong with us? What's wrong with us? What's wrong with Kanye? What's wrong with black people? Why is it black on black crime? What's wrong? What's wrong? We always asking what's wrong with us, and that's not what's wrong with the system. What's wrong with this system that's built for everybody to do good but us? And then people try to talk down on us for getting EBT and WIC, but people don't even know their history. They're not even teaching our kids the history. WIC started with Black Panthers. They set that up when they noticed they threw crack in the neighborhoods, in the projects. They threw crack in the neighborhoods, and the Black Panthers decided to come up with WIC for women with infants. And somehow, some way, that program they set up is now run by them. The same WIC program that Black Panthers set up for women and infants, which is what it stands for, made up a system just for them to have bread, milk, eggs. They set up that system for us, and now all of a sudden somebody else is running it, and we're bad. We're being treated as if we shouldn't use it or look frowned upon for using it when it was set up for us, but now somebody else runs it, so we're supposed to feel bad for needing the help when originally it was made by our people, the same one that were assassinated on TV saying that we do drugs. People who are highly thought of, no drugs, very healthy, all of a sudden just dying, just trying to get some drugs and was killed. You know, they killed the whole Black Panther, most of them, or threw them in jail. You know, treated them badly, and now they're running stuff that we run and telling us that we look bad for using it. That's why they say they take our ideas and use them against us. And then people are like, oh, you don't need BT or you don't wait. It was set up for us. Do you see why we need it? It's monopoly set up for us this way. And if you don't see that, I feel bad because you're gonna have a long life, and then the kids are gonna feel it. The hate you give children, F's everybody. Thug Life, Tupac, he's going out of nowhere. They crash up beefs between Black people who have some money. They give us some money and then stir up beefs with each other, with, you know, again, amongst each other. Excuse me. And then they use that. Y'all end up tearing each other apart, shooting up at each other, and you guys aren't even done with these deals that you're signing. You end up dead, and guess where the money goes? To whatever you were signed to. So, like, think y'all, this shit is set up a certain way. They want us to be at each other's necks. So then when Tupac died, Biggie died, you know, oh, this nigga was beefing with Biggie, you know, he want to be the only one. No, they stir up that shit, and then all of a sudden they winning. Use your heads. Stop asking about what we're doing wrong and think about the system. Yeah, they're mad because Kanye West is a real foundational Black American. He is fully Black. He's not half Jamaican and half Black, because I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that, but when you're half Jamaican and half Black, it keeps you on both sides. And when you're on both sides, you're not going to always be like, yeah, I'm with all of that, because, you know, you're half Jamaican, so you want shit to work out for you too, right? So if you're half Jamaican and half Black, you're gonna hear people like me talking. You're like, oh, okay, this bitch, you know, she got something against Jamaicans. No, I don't. But there's some stuff that foundational Black Americans went through that we want to be paid for, and some other people who aren't fully Black, foundational Black Americans, don't think we need. And I feel like somebody who hasn't who isn't oppressed, who hasn't been through the things, who aren't dealing with racism on the daily, who have a hard time getting jobs unless they say they're white, or really got to fight or show that they're Kodak Black says, my name Kodak Black, but when you see me, I'm white. If we don't have to be like looking like that, then it's hard for us. So we don't have people who are mixed with different ethnicities rooting for us to get reparations. So when I say foundational Black Americans, I mean fully Black, because when you were mixed in with so many stuff, it's hard for them to vouch for us because they're mixed. I'm like, well, I'm Black, but I'm also mixed with this, and my people aren't being treated right. Yeah, you're right. We're trying to do something. If you think about it, us, people who look like me, fought for Hispanics to get here. Do you think some white people just really wanted a whole bunch of Hispanics here and all that? No, we fought for that stuff like that. And then once people from different ethnicities come here, they start to look down on us and say that we're niggas and we don't have money and we can't come in here. We can't use the bathroom. They start treating us like our family didn't make this place. So when I say we need somebody foundational Black American in the office, I mean somebody like Kanye West. He's fully Black. He's from Chicago. He's been through it all. He know what it took to get here. Have somebody like that in office so they can do something that benefits us. That benefits us, because every time somebody gets in the office, half of the time they're white, and when Obama was in office, they're like, oh, well, there you go. We have somebody who look like you guys in the office. Are you happy? No, we're not happy, because he's not fully foundational. He's not a foundational Black American. He's looking out for his people, which is something I would do too if I was mixed. I would look out for both sides of my, culture. We need somebody that's fully foundational Black American to come here, to come in the office and help us thrive like everybody else. And then you won't see so much Black on Black crime. You won't see so many angry Black people waiting in line, needing for help, needing WIC, what we set up for our families, and using it against us like we're the bad guy for wanting help, because we're human. So we need somebody that's full FBA, and they don't want that in the office because what? Because it excludes them. When there's somebody like me in the office making plans, setting up laws, suggestions for people like me, then what? My supervisor said, talk about divestors. Divestors or diversities? Let me know which one you mean. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, elaborate more. And I'm just confused at this point, because FBAs, foundational Black Americans, Blacks, we're all really a victim to it. No matter if you're foundational Black American or not, you're a victim. You can get a job better than me because you're mixed, yeah. But as soon as that 1 second you do anything wrong, they're treating you like a nigga. And that's where that cool quote comes from. Everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga. Oh yeah, mixed with Black until you want a job, till you need a loan, till you need somebody to take you serious. You don't want to be Black. That's all I wanted to talk about today, y'all. Yeah, we need to get into them. And I want to let y'all know, let's just point to the problems. They say Black people, I notice Blacks, everybody, not just FBAs, when we get in trouble, we get sentenced the same day. 34 years, 24 years, I know there's a lot of bad stuff going on, but we get sentenced right away. Anytime anybody who isn't Black does something, they get this long ass trial. A trial that we forgot that even goes on, And then they'll do back-to-back intense trials. Like they'll do George Floyd and Aubrey, the other guy who died in his own crib because white lady thought it was her crib, so she killed him. Stuff that just sounds bad, and like somebody who doesn't have eyes and just ears can listen and hear what's wrong, So it's just like, why do we need a trial to figure out something that you can obviously hear through your ears is bogus and wrong, But then as soon as I go shoot up somebody, she got 34 years. There's no trial. There's no trial for people like me. You don't get trials. You know why? Because we don't have money. They think we're uneducated and we're just guilty before anything. We're guilty. You're guilty by, how they say you get caught while being Black? You're guilty because you're Black. And it don't matter what you claim. If you look like me and you in the wrong place, wrong time, they gonna do you, and they gonna make an example of you. And if you haven't, kudos to you. But don't wait to have kids to listen to me. You know, don't wait to have siblings or wait to see your friend that you cared about going to take what I'm saying into consideration. Because if we keep talking about it, doing nothing about it, we're gonna be wiped out. Do something. How long will we watch them kill us? When we get tired of watching, talking about it, tweeting about it, taking pictures of our dead bodies, but we can't say coon. They can put all of our dead bodies, talk about how Emmett Till died. Woman still alive who got Emmett Till murdered. She's still out here. But they want to put a guy away, and they, you know, we don't even have to debate about this stuff. There's logic to it. So, but I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on that note. The chickens will come home to roost. Quote of the day: chickens came home to roost. At this point, they didn't hush your sister. So I'll be back on here with Karma's 25-cent tea, where it doesn't cost too much. And I mean too much to sip tea with me. Think I better run, yeah. The slave catcher's coming in. Y'all better be ready.